Hi everybody, my name is Julie Spark. Welcome to my podcast Slow Secrets. I'm wearing a fabulous bathing suit from my island sister at Cartigny de Libre, and today I am going to read you a chapter of my book, Slow Lifestyle, and my podcast is called Slow Secrets. So, hyperfocus versus scatterfocus. Hyperfocus is how to work less and achieve more. It's based on a really nice book that I love. I will put the link in the comments. The methodology that will help you focus and create more effectively. Your most valuable asset is your attention. Value creating things is stress relieving and will improve your happiness and productivity. To achieve happiness and greater success, let's start focusing on what our brain is attempting to do. There seems to be two kinds of focus. Our fixed intent, hyperfocus, and connecting the dots, scatterfocus. When we disconnect, it is one of the most powerful ways to spark new and innovative ideas. Even if we are simply noticing the thoughts in our head, attention is the backdrop we are against. When I learned to unfocus, I realized it was the best practice to nurture my creativity, my happiness, and my productivity. When I focus in life, at work, and at home, hyperfocus, that is when I become the best version of myself. We all have our routines, and we are all uniquely wired, and that is why productivity is highly personal. Our brains are constantly looking for things to focus on. Studies have shown that the average time we can work in front of a computer before getting distracted is 40 seconds. Are you being able to focus on what I'm saying, or are you being distracted by the mosque in the background? As you know, my podcast is island-based, so as you can see, I'm on a boat. I am surrounded by 365 degrees of water and the sun is setting in the ocean. It's pretty beautiful. Unfortunately, there will be some background noises, so I apologize for that. So when we disconnect, it is the most powerful way to spark new and innovative ideas. Even if we are simply noticing the thoughts in our heads, attention is the backdrop we are against. When I learned to unfocus, I realized it was the best practice to nurture my creativity, my happiness, and my productivity. When I focus in life, at work, and at home, hyperfocus. That is when I become the best version of myself. We all have our routines, and we are all uniquely wired, and that is why productivity is highly personal. Our brains are constantly looking for things to focus on. Studies have shown that the average time we can work in front of a computer before getting distracted is 40 seconds. Our phones are a productivity black hole just sitting in our pockets. Slow lifestyle secrets. Caffeine boosts our mental and physical performance. Use it wisely before training, as it will tell your body to burn the fat for energy while intermittent fasting. And it will be an excellent before reading a book or doing a task when you'll have to hyperfocus. Please do reach out and let us know how you go at askjulie.travel, #slowsecrets, privately or publicly as you prefer. Switch off the autopilot. Switch your attention to the most important decision of today. Your focus will determine your reality. Qigong Master Jinwo in Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. I check in with myself regularly. I ask myself, what is on your mind? I write down a list of things to deal with later, and then I refocus on the task at hand. I try to do the right thing at the right time, which makes me extra productive. I have deactivated all the notifications on my phone and from my laptop as well. At the moment, I have zero connection when I'm at home, and I am loving it. I read 4 books which would mean I'd read 50 a year. And I wrote 3 books this year. To accomplish more, I maintain my intention, and my attention overflows, and it benefits my quality of life. I slow down, and thanks to hyperfocus, I accomplish so much in such a small amount of time. I am less busy, but I allow fewer objects in my attentional space. When it comes to my most important tasks, the fewer things I pay attention to, the more productive I become. I center my mind so I can spend time and attention on what actually is in front of me, because it is normal that my mind wanders. At the beginning of the day, I choose 3 things I want to accomplish by the end of the day. I add my daily tasks, and at the end of the day, I congratulate myself when I completed my tasks. That's called positive reinforcement for the self. I now use my phone with intention and not on autopilot. It sits in my bag, not in my pocket, and it's on silence mode with 0 notifications. When I sleep, it's always on airplane mode. If there is an emergency, people know where I live. I check my messages in the morning and in the afternoon, and I rarely reply immediately. It took people 6 months, but now they all know. When are you most productive? Is it in the office? Does certain music make you more productive? I am most productive in a stunning environment, like staring at the crystal clear blue water and white sandy beaches of Gili Air, the island where I live, blasting psytrance in my Bose earphones. Its hum clears my mind, and an empty brain is most productive. The fewer things I have in my head, the more productive I become. Whatever works for you is fine, it's valid. Just identify. Do you practice meditation? Or do you feel like it's only for monks? Meditation is the practice to bring your focus continuously to one single object of attention, usually the breath. When the mind wanders, focus on the breath. Studies have shown that for a group that was encouraged to meditate 45 minutes, 2 times a week, their working capacity increased by more than 30%, just after a couple of weeks. There's a really nice app called Headspace and Insight Timer, or I love the app Gaia. I like to start my meditation with a mindful shower, present with what I am experiencing. I focus on the sensation of the present. What do I see, hear, smell, feel? Enables me to train my brain to focus better on what is in front of me. I notice the circumstances of the current moment, and I become conscious of what is filling my mind. I practice being with my breath so I can be with my life. To increase the size of my attentional space, I practice mindfulness. Sometimes just 1 or 2 minutes. It doesn't matter how long or where I meditate. I just make sure I do it 5 days a week. No matter where my mind wanders, I focus on my breath and I approach it with genuine curiosity. Spending quality time with someone is great. Now add quality attention. When is the last time you allowed someone to finish speaking before you started? That is the secret to deep, meaningful conversation, bringing your complete attention to the person you are with. The quality of your attention shall determine the quality of your life. At home, the more attention you devote, the more meaningful your life will become. At work, the more productive you will become. Attention is the most important ingredient we have to live a good, productive life. Chris Bailey. Scatterfocus, connecting the dots. It is the most creative mode of the brain, and hyperfocus is the most productive one. To be the most happy, creative, and productive version of myself, I learned how to use each mode intelligently. These 2 modes work remarkably hand in hand. Not all those who wander are lost. G.R.R. Tolkien. As I travel through time, I visit the past, the present, and the future, connecting to what I've learned, what I am doing, and what I'd like to achieve. It allows my creativity to flourish and enable me to work with greater intention. That intention will automatically contrast my desire against the present I need to change to make that future a reality. There is 3 types of scatterfocus. The most powerful I find is when I'm engaging in simple tasks and I capture valuable ideas and plans that come up. It's called habitual mode. The second is when I let my mind roam free and I capture whatever comes up, also known as capture mode. The latter is a problem, crashing mode. I hold a problem and let my thoughts wander around it. It is like my brain creates a scratch pad to connect my ideas. The more positive I am, the more productive. Usually because I find much truth in pain and darkness, in moderation, of course. My elevated mood, I'll expand the size of my attentional space. The happier I am in scatterfocus, the more benefits I have to it. Giving my attention a rest. For example, not bringing my phone with me on my walk during lunch with a friend and just letting my mind wander really helps with my burnout. Rest is not idleness. And to lie sometimes on the grass under a tree on a summer day listening to murmure of the water or watching the clouds float across the blue sky is by no means a waste of time. John Lubbock. In the use of life. I find recharging critical and worth all the time I invest in it. While scatter focusing, we recharge our mental energy for our most important tasks. Throughout the day, I often feel my energy steadily depleting, as does my ability to focus. I now work 2 to 4 hours a day, hyperfocused. The rest of the time is in scatterfocus. A little lifestyle vignette, story of my life. The importance of sleep. I used to be a raging insomniac. I like calling it creative insomnia. I just couldn't manage to stop my brain from scatter focusing. Ideas would pop into my head. I had to write them down, and I just couldn't fall asleep. I convinced myself it was okay. As long as you're lying down, you're resting. You're right. Then I developed a solid nighttime ritual, helping me to get more quality sleep. At the end of the day, often depleted of my energy, I developed a tendency to just turn on autopilot mode. I decided to ditch the TV that was stimulating, and I focused on habits that helped me unwind, like reading, meditating, drinking herbal tea, disconnecting. At some point, my 4G provider even bounced me up completely offline. I decided not to have internet connection at home for 4 months. It was bliss. I created a new habit. Dreaming is scatter focus on steroids. Your mind continues to connect the dots. Chris Bailey. I realized whenever I rested, I was exchanging time for energy. Breaks allowed me to recharge, and that year off prevented me from hitting a wall. Taking a break is the most productive thing I did because my brain now is as sharp as it can be. And the sparks coming out of it are solid quality, not just noise. I now focus on being happy, creative, and productive. Scatter focus helps me become more creative. It helps me plan for the future, and it recharges my batteries for when I need to hyperfocus. It is not that I am so smart. It is just that I stay with problems longer. Albert Einstein. The more I invest in my happiness, the more creative I become when in scatter focus mode, and the more productive I become in hyperfocus mode. Understand, there is a difference between genuinely investing in happiness and just thinking positively. The latter won't work. a study showed the top 5 activities that make people happier are 1. Making love, 2. Exercise, 3. Talking and investing in their relationships, 4. Playing, and 5. Listening to music. Watch the TED Talk of Sean Anker, The Happiness Advantage. I'll put the link in the comments. His top 4 activities are 1. Performing a random act of kindness, 2. Meditating, 3. Journaling, 1 good experience a day, 4. 3 things that you are grateful for today. I write in my journal every morning, 5 days a week. And I write 3 things I'm grateful for in a gratitude journal every evening before I go to bed. It's a good new habit to create for yourself if you want to be happier. It's so simple, but it works. I love coffee. Alcohol helps to scatter focus, and coffee helps to hyperfocus. Caffeine boosts physical and mental performance. It deepens my focus, it helps me persevere, it boosts my determination. Even when I'm tired, it improves my performance. Thank you for listening to Slow Secrets. My name is Judy Spock, and I send you so much love from the island. And don't forget to check out my Island Sisters' amazing island collection at Cartini de Levo. Bye! Slow Secrets.